Hey everyone, welcome back. So for today's video, this is actually going to be my last skin whitening review for my skin whitening playlist 2026. But just to be clear, it's not the last product I'll ever talk about in this category. I still have a few honorable mentions, products that I've been using for a short period of time, but are still worth discussing. I'll most likely release that video sometime in May or June if everything goes smoothly. Now, I know this video might comes off as a bit low effort visually, but I want to be upfront. I'm prioritizing information over presentation here because at the end of the day, the knowledge is what actually matters. So, for those who are new here, I am a YouTuber who has been reviewing skin whitening products since 2019. I actually started off with skin whitening supplements, and over time, I transitioned into reviewing topical products like lotions, serums, and soaps. Basically, everything you see in the market today. Okay, a little bit disclaimer before we get into the review. I bought this product with my own money. I'm not sponsored by any brand, and I'm currently not a part of any affiliate program related to skincare. If that ever change in the future, I will make it clear to you. And as always, my role here is to bring balance and sometimes even to the influence you. Because let's be honest, the products we're about to talk about has been heavily promoted by a lot of affiliates throughout the year. And when that happens, there's usually going to be a lot of overclaiming. So, my job is to give you a more realistic expectation, and most of what I will say today will be aligned with clinical research and actual skin science and not just marketing. So with that out of the way, let's get into today's product, Fairy Scrub Gluta Soap. Alright, before I get ahead of myself, let's talk about how long I've actually been using this product. I started using this soap on 10th of July 2025 and I continued all the way until 5 February 2026. So in total, that's about 6 months and 26 days of consistent use. And I think that's important to mention because a lot of reviews you see online are based on a few days, maybe a couple of weeks or even a month. But in this case, I have given it enough time to actually see how it performs long term. Now, in terms of proof, these screenshots right here are my purchase records just to show that I actually bought and own the product. And yes, I did buy them in bundle simply because it's cheaper that way, especially if I already plan to use it for an extended period. So this isn't a one bar experience, this is multiple bars over several months, which should give a much more reliable expression of the product. All right, let's quickly go through the ingredient list, and I'm going to keep this part short and simple. From what you can see here, this is a pretty typical Gluta soap formula, but also a scrub. Here you have glutathione, which is the main marketing point for brightening, basic soap-based ingredients for cleansing, scrub particles to give that exfoliating effect, fragrance which make it smells more appealing, and yada 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 yada. Nothing here really stands out as groundbreaking or unique. Now, the reason why I'm not going too deep into the ingredient is because I want to talk about something more important in the next chapter, which is effectiveness. And that's where I'll also compare this soap with other products I've personally used over the years, like soaps from K Brothers, Jam, and even Koji San. I'll also break down where skin whitening soaps actually stand in a full routine, how to properly use them, and whether they they're even worth your time or if there are better alternatives altogether. So yeah, ingredient wise, it's pretty standard. Okay, let's move on to what actually matters, the results. Before I even start this chapter, I want to give you some context based on my experience. I've been using skin whitening soaps for years, and honestly, one of my biggest tests was using kojic acid soap every single day for 1 full year. And the results? It barely did anything. And today, you're going to understand why that's the case. Okay, first, when I say skin whitening soap, I'm also including scrub soap like this one. So throughout this video, I'm using the word soap interchangeably. Let's get straight to the point. Soap is the worst form of soap is the worst form of skin active delivery. Compared to serums, creams, lotions, soap is at the bottom of the list. Think of it like this. Serum is express delivery, usually higher concentration, smaller molecules, or better, just whole lot better formulation. It penetrates the skin quickly and efficiently. Okay, and then we have cream and lotion, the buffer delivery system, or like buffer delivery. It's more on the moisturizing factor side. It offers slower absorption, but it also helps reduce irritation and also seal inactives so that it minimizes the loss and also kind of like prevent irritation that you may usually get from serums because sometimes serums has because serum is oftentimes has high concentration and it penetrates the skin quickly. So yeah, cream and lotion are here to work as a buffer to kind of like allow your skin to process or metabolize the ingredients slowly and might as well as be effective as serum. Now compared to that, soap is just on your skin for a few seconds or minutes and then it's gone. So yeah, this is the most important point. Serum, creams, and lotion are leave-on product. Soap is a wash-off product. So logically, do you really think a skincare company would design a soap to be a serious active delivery system when they already have a far superior formats like serums and lotion? Now, if we look at multi-billion-dollar brand like Vaseline, if you live in Asia, you've definitely seen ads for their skin lightening lotion or body serums. But have you ever seen them heavily promote a skin lightening shower gel? Most of people don't even know it exists unless they randomly find it online. And that's because they know it's not as effective as their live-on products. So, where does Fairy Scrub Gluta soap stand? Truthfully, you should treat Fairy Scrub Gluta soap as nothing more than a scrub. Don't rely on it for actual skin whitening. So, you might be wondering what are the indirect benefits. Now, to be fair, it can help indirectly because exfoliation remove dead skin cells. It can make your skin look brighter temporarily and helps other skincare products penetrate better, but that's about it. So your final take should be if you're depending on this soap alone to lighten your skin, this is not a wise decision. You're much better off using it as a supporting step and not as the main solution. Because when it comes to actual results, soap is just not built for that job. The reason why I'm making this chapter is because I've seen a few affiliates giving tips to make this soap more effective. One of the common ones is adding lemon or lime juice while using the soap. Now, I'm not going to show you any clips here. I don't want any necessary issue, but if you search on TikTok, you'll probably find it. And honestly, this is a very dumb tip, and you should avoid doing that. Why is this a bad idea? Here's the problem. This soap is already a physical exfoliator. That means the scrub particles are already creating micro trauma on your skin. basically tiny invisible wound. You can't see them, but they are there. Now, think about this. If you had a visible cut or wound on your skin, would you pour lemon or lime juice on it? Probably not, because it stings, it irritates, and it can make the damage worse. And the same logic applies here. What happens if you do it anyways? Adding acidic ingredient like lemon or lime on top of physical exfoliation or friction from scrubbing can lead to increased irritation, skin barrier damage, high risk of sensitivity, even post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which is the opposite of what you want. So instead of getting whiter skin, you might actually end up with worse skin condition overall. So, how to use it properly? If you still want to use this soap, keep it simple. Use it like a normal body scrub. Don't apply too much pressure. Limit usage to a few times per week, not every day. Don't use it every day. Focus more on body area, and I don't believe this soap is actually for your face, so definitely avoid using it on your face. Also, most importantly, do not mix this soap with a DIY hacks. You might be making more harm, okay? You don't need to hack a product to make it work. If a product only works when you start adding random ingredients, that already tells you something about the product itself. So keep it simple, use it safely, and don't fall for this viral but harmful tips. Alright, final thoughts on Fairy Scrub Gluta Soap. There are definitely some things I like about it. It has that pleasant coffee scent. It's actually quite enjoyable during shower. The fact that the scrub particles don't dissolve, unlike salt or sugar scrub, this helps prevent accidental over exfoliation. And lastly, the texture of the soap itself. It feels like an almost solid dough, so you can just pinch the amount you want, which is actually pretty convenient. Now, about this, I definitely suggest you to keep it in a airtight container and then try to use it as often as you can. Not often, not in the sense of every day, but often like 3-4 times a week if that's possible for you, or if you think, or if your skin can tolerate it. Okay, now here's the most important takeaway. Treat this as a scrub, not a solution to your hyperpigmentation. And also, do not use this every single day. Now, if you're looking for better alternatives and your goal is to get that exfoliating effect or that scrub-like clean feeling every time you shower, you're honestly better off going for AHA or BHA based shower gels, or even using an exfoliating cloth an exfoliating cloth that I'm showing you guys. This is what I use, and I honestly enjoy it. It's not as rough as exfoliating gloves, but it is like has that texture that I enjoyed using it every day, and also it just creates so much more bubbles, so much more leather when you use your soap. Okay, this option, like the option I mentioned, like AHA, BHA based shower gel and exfoliating washcloth, are generally a more controlled and gentler on your skin compared to physical scrub like the Gluta scrub. Okay, Fairy Gluta scrub. So okay, so I think I've covered everything that needs to be covered. If you have any question, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And as always, I'm mrizal0415. I'm signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.